All right. Once you've got your nose on, next is that little tail, which got your little fuzz ball that we made earlier. These are jumping away from me today. We're gonna do the same thing with the nose that we did with the nose. You're just gonna stick it in place, gently, gently, watch your fingers, and start to just poke, poke, poke. You wanna kind of retain that cottontail poof, right? Just kind of poke it into place as well. Those fibers will grab and you won't have to worry about it. Just poke it into place for his little bum, right? Little cottontail bum. You might want to kind of make sure it sticks to the bottom as well. And then you've got his little cottontail and his little nose. And then our final step is going to be adding in those eyes. So you have a little bit of black in your pack as well. It won't take much for this either. Quite a small amount actually. Teeny, teeny, tiny. I don't know if you can see. Whoops. Like I said, guys, I'm dropping everything today. All right, tiny, tiny amount. And same thing, we're going to roll it into a ball for the eyes. It'll take a little bit. I mean, this is so small. You might we're kind of rolling it between two fingers even. Depends on how skilled you are with this, right? Maybe not skilled, maybe just with tiny, tiny strings. And then same thing, you're just gonna kind of place it. Remember, bunnies aren't too close. You've got a nice bridge in the middle, so you want them off to the side. And then same thing, you're just gonna go around the outside, start to kind of make a little connection there. And poke, 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 poke. And you have a choice. You can leave it as the little black circle if you'd like, or you can grab a little extra of that little white roving, that starting loose roving we had. Sorry, fumbled a little bit on my words. A little bit of that loose roving, which is just that tiny little cottontail bit, right? If you can grab just a little bit of that, if you really would like, and you don't love the beady-eyed look, although I think he's quite cute with this guy. But if you'd like, just grab a tiny, tiny bit. Same thing, we're just rolling it around. And it's just gonna be a tiny ball for that little bit of an iris in the middle. We're just gonna poke, 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 and you're gonna poke right on top of it. As this is pretty tiny, it is kind of right on top of itself a lot. That'll just give it a little bit of a definition, a little highlight, a little glint in his eye that might help with that if you're not really loving the beady-eyed look. Just like that. I don't know if you guys can quite see. There you go. Gives him just a little glint in his eye. And you've got your little bunny. That is the last step. You're going to just repeat on the other side. Rolling that little bit of, oops, even a little bit more. That little bit of black roving. And then you're going to place it once again for his eye. Kind of like to look from the front for the second one. That way you kind of get them placed at the same spot. Don't have one up high and one over here. Kind of get them placed. Can pull those fibers around a little bit with that front of the needle. And then as it is finished up, once again, if you do the highlight on one side, I would definitely make sure you do it on the other side or it is going to kind of look a little bit funky. So we've got those guys there. And then just that little tiny bit of that white roving, and really it takes such a tiny amount. I even pull some of that away. You just layer it once again, just kind of poke it in there, roll it as tiny as you can before doing that. That way you don't have to work as hard on it. And then you're just gonna poke, poke, poke. Like I said, it's gonna be pretty much right on top of itself so that it condenses pretty tiny into that little highlight. Otherwise, you're kind of fighting an uphill battle, right? It continuously just grows. All right. And then you've got your little bunny with that little glint in his eye on both sides and his little cottontail. There you guys go. Thanks so much for joining us today for our bunny. I hope you guys had a great time, and post some pictures on our website, on our Facebook page, and let us know how you did. Thanks, guys.